Well, hello there and welcome back in Satisfactory. Let's get this going. I do hope you are doing well. And I've finished this entire building, so it's fully closed on off. We got our fuel, rubber and plastic being produced. We can see the production from the inside and everything is running nice and smooth. Just want to go over this side real quick. So I did add a couple of buffers back here again. I removed them in the previous episode. And I think the problem was I didn't have this valve locked at 40, so the fuel was rushing over here more than what it should in order for this little packager to run. So I don't really need all that much. So I put the valve there and it seems like everything else is running good. I did go and overclock the two refineries doing the polymer resin, I believe it is. Yeah, it's going to be the polymer resin. So that's got 2 power shards in each machine. And that allowed me to get another 2 fuel generators down in this room. And yes, I've got a lot of batteries. Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. I think it's 19 on each side. So that gives me 4900 megawatt of spare power, which is more than enough. I don't even think we're going to be using any of that real soon. But let's just head outside here real quick, because we need to go and unlock the hover pack. That is going to be the number one thing we're going to get today. I'm going to need a couple of these power shards as well. May as well grab them. And then let's go and buy a couple of things here. So I want to go under the customizer, chrome, carbon and deuterium paint. I've been looking forward to getting those for quite a while. And then I also managed to get 1 hard drive. And on the rescan I managed to get the steel screws. So normally the one that I've been using thus far is going to be iron ingots into screws at 50 per minute. Now this takes 1 steel beam to produce 52 screws a minute at 260 per minute. That's going to make a major difference. So I'm going to head over to the hub area while we're still waiting on daytime. Let's get the hover pack unlocked and get the bauxite port sent away as well. Now then, this is just perfect. The sun is getting up already. So I already went ahead and got the smelters broken down. So iron production over here is basically non-existent. I'm just using the materials that I've got left. And I really enjoy using these fences to stop myself coming out of the hyper tubes. So then my being lazy room. This thing has really helped out quite a bit. I've got 2 containers feeding the assembler with the sloop recipes. That's going to be 2 Somers loops and a lot of power shards, using up a ridiculous amount of power as well just for one machine. But the production rates are really good. Now that is giving me all of the items that I'm not producing at the moment. And then I've got the same thing going on here with the constructor. That has just been giving me power shards and everything else that I might need. Really easy and without any hassle. So I'm going to have to go and search for the Alclad aluminum sheet here. Did pick some up there when I got that hard drive, so we can get the hover pack before anything else. And then we're going to unlock the bauxite refinement. Now this is going to be the ingot, aluminum sheets, aluminum castings, and just a bunch of things that we actually need in order to get to the hover pack phase. I don't know what the hell is going on there with my mouse. Jumped up there to the right. Right, but anyway, we can get the hover pack made. Just got barely enough in order to get this done. That is fantastic. So drop that in there, get the hover pack on, and then take a look at this. Oh, this is going to make building so much easier. Especially when using blueprints. And man alive, the range is quite a bit more than what I remember. Anyway, it's going to be really good. I'm going to break down this tower. It's going to be moving. And then I just have to wait a couple of minutes for the port to return. And we can get this going. Let's add everything in chrome over here for the moment. Just to mess around a bit. So I've got 3 minutes to wait. And then we can get to doing bauxite refinement. It is also about time that the sport has returned. Thank goodness for that. Now I can go ahead and get the bauxite refinement unlocked. And then the next step is going to be probably the most important thing that we're ever going to need, and that is going to be conveyor belt Mark 5. So that is going to be 780 resources per minute. I'm going to need to go and grab some reinforced iron plates. I see I'm going to be short on that. And then for the rest of the production that we need to unlock it, we're going to have to go and get aluminum production up and running. I'll also definitely check tomorrow at work there for wired mouse. This wireless one I've been using, it's alright for the scroll wheel because mine was messed up, but I don't know, it's like going like this sometimes and it's just so freaking annoying. Let's see if we can get over to the aluminum production without slowing down. There we go, perfect. You have to time that hypertube section so good, otherwise you're absolutely screwed going over to the modular frame factory. So I've started adding some truck stops over there. We're only going to be delivering some ore over that side. And then the copper ingots that we're going to need for today's factory is going to be right over there. Much easier to use. Everything is going to be clean and tidy today and hopefully running at 100% officially with nothing backlogging at all. So I've got that truck over there. It's carrying 4800 of the bauxite from way down here in the map at the south side. So it's loading up there by, I think the one miner is 240, the other one is 120, and then we got another one at 60. So that's going to give us 420 per minute, and that is going to be the rate that we're going to be working with over here. So let me just get this started. As soon as we can get the production up and running while we wait for those LCLAD sheets, we can go over a couple other things. Because I'm going to need that in order to ramp my power up as well. So there is definitely a reason for getting this tier unlocked and fully completed as well before we really get to major building. So we're going to use a Mark 4 for the moment. Get a splitter over here. And then I think the machines are going to take a Mark 2 belt. So this isn't going to do 120 per minute. We're going to underclock it to 105 per minute. So then 4 machines will then be 420 per minute. I see a hatchery over there. Sure, that thing is going to bug me in a bit. So let's go and get 4 down. Then we may as well go ahead and get the splitter in place. Just make sure it goes into the right spot there. Good. Get a Mark 2 belt. What's going on here? Let me grab a Mark 2 belt. Feed it directly in. It's supposed to be so much easier building like this. So we're going to go with a Mark 4. We'll upgrade this a bit later. Now then we're going to get silica out and aluminum solution. But we do need to add a pipeline here. So let's go with the stackable pipeline support here. Add it over this side and then over on this side, just so that we can get a pipeline in place here. Gonna use a pipeline Mark 1 for now. Then just get it colored. Then we're gonna add the junctions. Where are they? So we can lock it facing downwards a bit like this. It's supposed to be snapping into position, but apparently this one doesn't want to do it. And I definitely don't want it to be offset here. Oh boy, the hover pack is a bit touchy. See if we can get this moved in correctly. Because when I tested the factory, it definitely snapped into position, so I don't know why it's not doing it now. And it's so finicky. Okay, there we go. I think that should be fine. I don't think it should be an issue. So we're going to use a pipeline Mark 1 feeding into the refineries. Yeah, that should be perfect. So nothing is clipping through or clipping over anything else. Everything is just perfect. Gonna go with carbon steel for the junctions and as well as the pipeline supports. But we're going to be breaking down this one on the edge and this one right over here. Okay, there we go, good. Now for some valves, just before I forget to do this, I'm going to need one over there and then one facing back in this direction. So if I add another refinery at the front of this, that's going to do our aluminum scrap. That is going to use water as a byproduct that we're going to be sending back over this side. So it's going to be at 180 per minute. Now this machine only uses 157.5. So if we take that 180 and minus what we're getting, that's going to be 22.5. And we only need to send 22.5 over from this valve then. So 22.5. And then the valve over this side, we're going to go with 157.5 minus the 22.5 gives us 135. And then we're just going to add this in here. So 135. And that is going to allow these two machines to run independently from the water extractors mostly. This one should be slowly filling up, but as soon as the other refineries start running, this one will be kicking in. Now I do need to add a pipeline support over here. And then decide on where do I want to add another junction in. Okay, so this is going to upgrade to a clean pipeline Mark II. Just get it in the blue color as well. Why does it seem like it's clipping or something? That is so weird. Can't I get that pipeline? There we go. That is so weird. I haven't seen that before. Get the clean pipeline Mark II. Get it colored. And let's see if we can actually connect this back up again. It's not going to go with auto 2D or anything. That's quite interesting. Why would that have happened? Anyway, without getting too distracted, let's just get another valve over here. Then it was supposed to be at 135, right? And we just go and select it. 135. And that's good. Alright, so pipeline Mark II going over this way. And then we're going to be adding a floor hole connection. I think it's just going to look a bit neater this way. Can we go with a noodle? Yeah, I think that should be fine. This 2 foundation wide gap over here can definitely be broken down. Don't think the factory is going to go any further than that. Do you have to keep in mind about the power? Oh my goodness, stuck in the menu. There we go. You'd be able to get out of the water now. Holy bugger. Oh man, sometimes you can look like a complete idiot when you don't pay much attention. So I'm going to get a water extractor like this. Hopefully that's going to be decently in line. So we're going to add the power line for this. I think around here should be fine. I want to connect it to a power line close by for the moment. So it's going to need to go over here and then connect to this power line. Good. Alright, let's come and take a look. So this is going to be at 120 something, I think. Got the 157.5 times 2 machines. That's going to be 315. 315 plus what we're keeping over from this one. I'm going to have to work out this rate here. But I think if I remember correctly from my testing, this should be 225. So I'm going to need to add another power shot in this one. Come on, don't be messing with me. So 225. And then just copy and paste this recipe. It'd be good for the other extractor. Because copy and pasting definitely works out much better in trying to get your machines to run on the same rate. Okay, so that's good. Let's get a junction over this side. We're gonna have to try and get it in line with this floor hole connection. Just risk it for the biscuit. Select it, and hopefully this is gonna be in line. Horizontal to vertical, and that is livable. I might go and move it over just a tiny bit, but I don't think it's going to be an issue for today to get this factory up and running. So then we do get a 10-meter head lift, so I'm going to add the pump over this side. Just rotate it and then get it connected up here. Go with the carbon steel for the pump as well, so that should be all of the water flowing in, as well as the bauxite. So we just have to go and connect it to power. Going to be one of the most important things though. So without it, nothing works. Just connect it up there. And there we go, good. Right, so that is already connected. I'm going to bring the power line out here just a tiny bit, because we're going to be adding another pipeline going over here, and in order to power the refineries that need to be in front of these, I'm going to need to bring some power over. So then sorry about that, been feeling a little bit on the sick side lately, so it ain't all too good. But we got lift over this side, lift over this side's not going to work. So this needs to move forward. I think up until there should be fine. Thing is, I want to add splitters over here and mergers, so I don't really mind them being so close, but that is just a little bit too much. So it needs to go even a little bit further. So I'm going to take the little, what do you call it, the ladder over there, just move it over one more, and this should be more than enough space. We can even go one back, so the ladder should be just on the other side of this line over there for the foundation, and this should be perfect then. So we got splitter, the side should be mergers facing in that direction. And it also needs to be upgraded to, no, I think the Mark 1 lift should be fine for the silica to unload. So let's just quickly get the lifts in place. Now we're going to be needing mergers. From the left side over here, we're going to add silica in from a truck station. Then the silica is going to flow out in this direction. So this has to be facing towards us now. I'm gonna go with the Mark 3 in between the machines just for convenience. Then we're gonna get this lift down. I think over there should be good. Then we're gonna go with the straight bound, gonna go with the Mark 3, that should be good. Just glad I'm not getting a traffic jam so far. Because when I started building this, I only added the bauxite, silica and the coal. And when I tested out the factory, I actually realized that I needed to bring in some copper ingots. So this little truck for the copper ingots, I think it's this little fella here. It's just going to cross this intersection just straight forward like that. So I'm not really sure if that's going to cause an issue. And then also where it comes out of that gate over that side, I did try and make the turn as sharp as possible to this side so that it doesn't go straight into one of the other vehicles. So hopefully they're not gonna get to a point where they're actually blocking one another and just one vehicle stops while the other one goes past and he just continues along his merry way, because that's what's happening over here like this. Oh my goodness, look at that, we had a crash. Oh my goodness, we had a crash. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm so sorry for that. I need to get roadworks down. That is going to be next in line, so don't worry guys, we're going to get that sorted out. That was insane. Okay, well now I know I definitely need my bloody roadwork to be the next thing in line. We're gonna need to get that done. Can't wait anymore. So let's get some pipeline junctions in place here to unload our alumina solution. That's gonna be at a pipeline Mark 1. And I think we're gonna color it in the chrome. I think that should be okay. Just want to connect these pipes up this way. And then, thank goodness for the hover pack, we don't have to go and run and jump and slide all over the bloody place. Then we're gonna go with a Mark 1 pipeline feeding into... Whoa, this is incorrect. This is incorrect. I need to move that one up as well. Then feed it in there. Get our Mark 1 lift. No, it needs to be a Mark 2. Because we need 120 coal per minute to be feeding into these machines. We'll go with the Mark 3 belt to unload. So that little section is a bit compact, but it shouldn't be end of the world. Definitely shouldn't be a big problem. So over this way, connect this up to there. So why does it still show no power? Isn't this running yet? Doesn't seem to be the case. So what's going on here? Oh, never connected the machine itself. Alright, that's fine. So now we got power over there as well. Then now we need to add a lift facing downwards. And this pipeline junction is cutting it ridiculously close there. But it's alright. Not the end of the world. No, these ones should actually be in white. Because it's silica being fed through here. So that lift, it should be fine. This is going to have to go in a black color. Because it's going to be coal. There we go, good. And then I'm not sure what color I want to be using for the aluminum scrap. Let's go for the unpainted finish. So we got chrome on the back machines and then unpainted on this one. This is going to be the coal unloading. I'm going to go with a Mark 3 lift. And then let's bring it out from that side. I think it should look better. So that belt is really nice and close to the machine. Unloading coal. And this should start the production for aluminum scrap. If I change the recipe, that is going to make it work. So then the first machine is definitely going to be running at 100%. That's 360 per minute. And then aluminum scrap on this side. The second machine is going to do 180 per minute. Now this should use up the 420, almost said 120 there. The 420 alumina solution that we're producing is going to be used up over this side. Reducing 420 of this aluminum scrap that we're going to be needing. So I'm going to merge it towards the left. I'm going to go with a Mark 4. Even the lifts need to be a Mark 4. Just to ensure that we can empty out the machines properly. And then we're going to need to send over this water. So that's going to be next in line. I think that's incorrect. I think over there should be good. Going to go with the pipeline Mark 1. We don't need anything higher than that. No, this is going to be blue. It's a water pipe, not an alumina solution one. Okay, then we're going to go with a straight. Bring it all the way over this way. And now we do need to connect it up this side. The way that I want to do it is by getting a pipeline support. Yeah, I think I can add it over here. I think this should be fine. Don't need a pipeline. Mark 2, Mark 1 should be good. Is this not gonna work? If I nudge it forward by 1. Auto looks good. Now I don't think this is gonna need a pump. I definitely don't think so. So this machine should also now start getting some water. And then the water needs to flow out from the aluminum scrap machine. What's glitching over here? Oh, I think it's the inverted ramp. I'm gonna have to do something over there, because I don't like that line sticking out like that and it's flashing over there, which is annoying. But anyway, I need to continue here. We still got a bunch of production to do. So we got basic production. This is gonna be my iron recipe. I'm just gonna repurpose the machines for this. So the bottom line that's gonna be feeding inwards is gonna be right across from the side, and then we do need to leave a bit of a gap for our silica to be fed through, and also add another section that we can split the silica from to add it into overflow. So I think I can bring it a bit more forward, can't I? I can do that, but then it's not going to line up perfectly over this side, is it? Yeah, over there is much better. So I'm not going to be using this lift to load the silica, so I think what I should do, and I think this should be enough gap. I really don't think I should actually leave even more. So I'm just going to add this. Let's remove that lift over there. And then I'm just going to break down 2 machines, because we're only going to be needing the 4. Alrighty then, so I think this might actually work. I'm going to get a lift down the side for our silica to be loading into the machine. And then we're also going to be changing that back to a Mark 1. And then the Mark 4 needs to bring all of the silica downwards towards us. Then I'm gonna go with a belt from this side, go to straight, and that's just gonna bring it nice and neat over there. We're gonna disconnect this just for a second. Go and get a smart splitter, because we're gonna be sending the overflow from silica as well as our aluminum scrap into our awesome sink over here. And that is just gonna make a major difference at the end of the day. So I just need to connect this to power as well, and I think I need to change the recipe. So that's gonna be aluminum ingot, that's gonna be aluminum scrap and silica. Go ahead and copy and paste the recipe on all of the machines here. I can just quickly take a look there at the lower ones. I think that should be fully connected now. We do need a Mark 4 in between until we can get the Mark 5. So then left side is going to be our overflow. And the smart splitter this side, the left one, is also going to be our overflow. And then I'm going to add another merger right in the middle, because I want to be able to upgrade the belts a bit later. And the other thing is, I need to add a lift over this side for the silica, so it seems like this is going to be directly in line, which is fantastic. That is perfect. So we got nice straight belts. Everything is nice and compact, but definitely not too much so that it will become a problem later on. So let's go with a Mark 4 feeding into there. So then all of the overflow, once everything is sorted, should be going out in this direction. Left output is overflow. Just don't see anything flowing out here for the moment. Go and take a look here. Oh man, we already got enough ingots, so as soon as the ingots are full, everything else should be flowing over towards this side. Just want to go ahead and test it out and make sure, because that is going to be important. I don't want the aluminum production this side to stop. So that's 360 and then another 120 over here. And our highest belt can only do 270 per minute, so we are definitely a bit slow on the aluminum scrap loading here. Well, regardless of that, I think it should be fine. Let's go and get the constructor down for our castings, and then we also have to go ahead. Hopefully I'm gonna do this in one go. Gonna be a splitter over the side. Let me just get this done, otherwise it's not gonna match up. So I think it needs to be right over here on the corner. Gonna use a Mark 3, or may as well just use the Mark 4. It's only to unload our stuff. Okay, so that's perfect. So that is gonna be extremely close to the section over there, right next to the beams. Looking fantastic. I really enjoy that. But this is the last time that we're actually gonna do production like this. We will be using blueprints in the future, so I don't have to go around and just connect all of the wires like this myself. It's gonna save up so much time. So then now to get the lift for this one correct. Is it gonna be in line? No. I think I need to nudge it one forward. So it needs to be over there, then this little section here, I'm gonna hold down control and then just nudge it with half space there. And by adding the splitter, then we should be able to see that it is directly in line. And that's gonna make the placement for the next machine a lot easier as well. And I think a Mark 1 for this should be fine. I think so. Oh, we still need a lift in this one. So a lift and another splitter. Go and grab this belt, feed it right on through. That should be good. So all we're left with is getting power. I think that should be in line. If it's a little bit off, I'll just go and fix it in the next episode there. I'll do it off camera and just show it. So this is going to be aluminum alclad sheets, and we're going to fully overclock this to 60 per minute. I think that's going to be 2 power shots. That's going to be at 60 per minute. Then we're going to do aluminum casting 1 at 60 per minute. And the other one is going to be doing, I think, 20 per minute. Yeah, that's going to be 20. So it's using up 30. At 90, that's going to be 120. It's one top section of our ingots. The lower section of the ingots is going to be into our assemblers, taking up 60, and the other one 60 as well. We can just connect this to power right over there. And that is going to be aluminum production finally starting up. Now then we need mergers. I think that one was incorrect. That one should be fine. Then we're going to be facing it out in this direction once again. Trying to think. Yeah, I think I should add it this way. Take a look at that in a moment. So this needs to be a Mark 1 belt, giving us 20 and 60 per minute, but we're going to need a Mark 2 in between. And this is going to get crazy over here, because there's something that I realized you could do. And that's by taking a lift, facing it around in this direction. Oh man, I'm sorry, I just needed to take a quick pause there and clear my throat. So the Mark 2 is feeding over this side. This is the most compact you can ever get a lift. It is insane. It is quite a trick to do, but it is really fantastic. So I'm going to use a smart splitter on top here. Then we're going to feed the belt directly through, go with the Mark II. Straight is going to be any, left is going to be overflow. And then we need to add a merger over, just trying to think here. We're going to need a smart splitter over this side then. Yeah, I think this is going to be the way that I'm going to do it. So I'm going to go with the Mark 1. No, it should be a Mark 2. We're doing 120 per minute. Merging up from our machines here. Come on, go in there. There we go. And then we're going to add a merger over on this side. Move it a little bit forward so that merger needs to stay there. I can't remove it. This one needs to move up a little bit. Too close over there. Just that tiny bit should be more than enough in order to unload. Yeah, I like these little stumpy lifts. They are so nice. Go with another Mark II there. So the left is the overflow, straight is going to go through to a container. Bring it out this side. And then just in order to get a lift down over here, I'm going to have to do this. Going to get one down over that way. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So I can remove that other temporary splitter and this one as well. Go with the Mark II. Is this facing the wrong side? Oh no, I needed to remove it, that's why. Okay, so that is fine. We got our castings. We don't have any copper ingots being loaded in, so I still need to do this. So let's go from here to there. A Mark 1 feeding into the machine. Same over that side, and a Mark 1 over here. Right, so we need a Mark 1 lift over this side as well. And that should be perfect because we need 20 and 20. That's going to be only 40 per minute. Good. I spy with my little eye something flashing over there. Get rid of it. So then we got industrial storage. This is what we're going to be using. And then we're going to add a dimensional depot on top of this. So here comes the tricky part. How do I want to bring this around? Like, let's bring it from that side over here. And this side should be absolutely straight. Yeah, that's fine. I can live with that. Absolutely no problem. So we got our L-clad sheets going into storage. Castings will go in there as well. Just need to add it into the dimensional depot. And we are set. That is going to allow me to really go ahead and get all of the belts upgraded really quick. So let's go and do the overflow for this as well. It's merging up on this side, so we need to bring it over to here. I think like this should look a bit better. Could have changed the merger to go straight. I might actually have to do that. Let's go and grab the merger. Place it in that direction. Connect this up as a Mark II. And a Mark II feeding that side. So I think that looks a lot better. I just need to wait for a bit of production. Let me get the building closed off and add in some lights off camera here while we wait for the materials to do the unlocks. Alrighty then, so I just needed to take a break there. Man, my throat was killing me. So I'm gonna grab all of the L-clad sheets that I got here. And let's go ahead and add that in there, as well as my reinforced iron plates. There we go. We should be able to get logistics Mark 5. So we still got the hazmat suit and the control system for batteries. Tier 8 is aeronautical engineering, that's the drones. Nuclear power, advanced aluminum production, leading edge production, and particle enrichment. Those are going to be way down the line. We are not going to be doing those for quite a bit. Oh, buddy has already gone. Well, nonetheless, we got the faster belt speed. First off, we're going to head over to our coal power plant, the new one that I started. And we're going to be upgrading some belts there so that I can finally turn on all of the coal generators. Then I just have to go and close off the building, but I'm going to need to start up some iron production before I can even get that done. My material is going to start running low, so in the next episode we're going to focus on that. All of the smelting, basic production, advanced production, the steel production is going to be broken down and moved. A lot of work is ahead of us. So then there is still going to be quite a bit of work to do over here. I've got some batteries over the side as well. Might increase the storage at the lower floor as well a bit later on. So all of these belts over the side feeding on the right hand side of the machines is going to be upgraded to a Mark 5. Let's see if we can just quickly run this through. Like it's getting stuck every time when I click on the belt. That is crazy. But anyway, that is quite a few generators. I think if I'm not mistaken it's 52 in total, which is a hell of a lot. So I'm going to be breaking down this splitter over here and just change the direction for this one. Gonna go with another Mark 5. Yeah, it should be a Mark 5 over this side as well. And then we just need to feed it in from somewhere over this side. It depends on where I want to split it from. I think let's do that. It's going to be the shortest route. And then I do have to go and add a pipeline on the last two machines from what I remember. Last time I was this side. Why's my shadows flickering so weird? And I really can't wait to get an upgrade. Do apologize for that if you're clicking away because of video quality. Unfortunately can't do much about that. Not until I get some money in order to do it, but I'm paying off a bike, so that's a bit of a ways off. So we're gonna add a pipeline Mark 1 over this side, and then I think I should, no, that is a Mark 2. Is that pipeline in between there? Yeah, that's also a Mark 2. So I'm going to be overclocking this water extractor to produce quite a bit more. Let's say 300. Hopefully that's going to be enough in order to run all of the machines this side. Just trying to think if this one's going to be enough for all the machines over this side as well. I think let's overclock that to 180. I'm just going to add one more shot for in case. This is just temporary. I'll come and work out all of the water extractors on my own time. Let's go ahead and get all of them turned on. So there is going to be quite a few of them that I need to get turned on here. And this should give us a nice jump in power, hopefully. And then we should be ready for all of our other production waiting for us, without having to worry that we're going to have the grid failing on us. So that one is turned on. Let's get this last bit of the road turned on here as well. Yeah, this is going to be good. So much power. I think 52 generators. I'm almost sure it is. So we're using every single bit of coal over there. So that's 6,900 megawatts of power. And then we still got the 4,900 megawatt of power in storage for the battery. So yeah, this is freaking crazy. Can I even select all of them? Let's see. So that's going to be 17. We just have to make our way all the way back over here. So that's going to be 26. So yeah, that's 52 coal generators up and running. That's going to be freaking crazy. I think I should increase the belt speed on this as well. I know the machines are going to start stuttering in a moment because I still have to go and increase the belt speed at the miner feeding into the building. But just because this is running on a manifold system, I want to be upgrading that as quick as possible. It is so useful having that. So now we just have to go and just run back into the building. Drop down like a maniac and then also upgrade the belts over this side. We are nearly there. We just need to upgrade the lifts as well. Go towards the outside. It's just a bunch of upgrades. That's all we're doing. And by having all of this done today, the future of building is gonna be way better. Because we don't have to struggle with the jumping up and down. We can use the blueprints a lot better. It's gonna make a massive difference in the factories that we're gonna start getting. Oh no, I actually ran out of alclad sheets there. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to wait for a little bit more. We need 6 over there. Then we do need 8 over that side, and we need to increase the lift as well. Can already do the lift, but I'm still gonna have to wait a bit for this last 2. And then I'll meet you back there at the hub. We can try and see if we can get the hazmat suit as well today. And go and take a look at the final building over there for our aluminum, because it is definitely done. So this is going to be the last little belt here. There we go, perfect. I just want to make sure this miner is overclocked to its full potential. No, it's not. So we're going to ramp this up to 600 per minute, and this is going to be at 300, so that's going to be 900. I want to take a look at something. So 900, and I think it takes 15 per machine. So we can actually run 60 machines off this. It is freaking insane. Now then, after crafting up some gas masks there, I should have a bit more in my inventory as well. Hopefully that should be enough. I forgot I actually got this made. So we can actually get this on as well. There we go. That is fantastic. So let's just go and get the castings. I think 1 stack should be enough. We can go and upload that single one over there. Let me just flip this around. That should be fine then. Now we do also need some quick wire. Grab 1 stack of that and just add it in there. So did I not grab my castings? Oh, wait a minute. We have to go and add them in there first. There we go. Now that can go into the dimensional storage. Get our hazmat suit. Let's go see if we can even make this. Yeah, there we go. Hazmat suit. Perfect. And I can make some iodine infused filters. That's going to be what we need in order for the suit to run. Am I crafting another one? I don't want one more. We only need 1. Then I'm just going to keep a couple of filters on me in the dimensional storage, because the main thing why I want to get this is some of the hard drives are definitely in areas where you would find some uranium ore, and that does make it a little bit more difficult if you can't get to them. So I definitely want to go and do some hard drive hunting. So a lot of work ahead of me this week as well. But we are definitely in a very good spot. So I'm going to be using the Blueprint Designer Mark II in order to work out all of the rates and the production that I want to do, in order to make it easier to build, and we can just go over the rates and see how much we can eventually produce without going too high on the power grid. That's going to be the other thing. I know by smelting the iron in the foundries we're going to be using 75 megawatts, so I think that's better than using all of the smelters and then using up even less space, so it's definitely going to be good. I still need to add a window over in this side, but for the most part the building is completely closed on off. I'll be using the beams like this over the windows, same as I did over there by the oil, because oh boy, completely forgot to actually turn off in the factory. I still have to add the beams over there. I started running out of some steel plates, so I'm gonna have to get that made first. But we're definitely not doing too bad. I also have to move over to corner ceiling lights over there to get the lighting done, and then go and color it, so I need to add in a light panel as well. But everything seems to be running good, except for the alumina solution, but that is going to be because we still need to upgrade belts over here. So silica can definitely run on the Mark IV, but we're going to have to upgrade to a Mark V feeding into our awesome sink, and then also upgrade this to a Mark V. And I think we need to go with a Mark V feeding into the machines as well. The main reason for that is going to be we need to get rid of all of the Alclad sheets in here, so that the water stops getting backlogged or the alumina solution gets backlogged. It almost seems like we're running out of coal, but it's supposed to be a Mark II, so it shouldn't have an issue. Yeah, and it is a Mark II. That's a Mark III. Oh, this is where the problem is. So that has to be upgraded to a Mark III lift. And then my machine should be running okay with coal now. That is way better. Alright, so we got all of our alumina solution, 420 a minute used up in aluminum scrap. Also taking up 420 alumina solution, giving us 420 aluminum scrap. Now this takes 90 for 4 machines, which is 360, so we could actually go and add the other section over here if I really wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. This is going to be the only aluminum production that we're going to be needing for quite a while. I don't think we're really going to be needing more, not until we got all of our major production back again, get the hub moved to a better area, and then we can really start getting to building. I do hope you enjoyed, and that I see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Alpha Blaze Gamer out.